What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Shabazz.
Your boy Natty Baps, man.
We the BaptisteBros, man. What's going on? What's going on? Belts to ass, man. That's all I'm gonna say. Belts to ass, man. Just wham, wham. We're gonna get to that later, man. But first of all, another week of football. It's week 4 happened. But you know what I'm saying? Before we get to week 5 tomorrow, we gotta reflect on what it was, which was
How he's stealing my lines, bro. How is he stealing my
it's a bar. It's a bar though. You gotta give him credit. It's a bar, gang.
word for word, bar for bar?
Word. That was a hit though. I ain't gonna lie. You cooked that one, so I ain't know. Let's forward. We must look back at us.
Okay. Also, no sponsored by Aldi's, but if you ever go to Aldi's and find these wafer rolls, change your life.
What flavors, huh?
This is chocolate hazelnut.
Okay.
Change your life. That's all I'm saying. If you're not allergic to nuts, of course. But
Okay. You looking handsome. So I ain't got a shape ups on.
little hair type. I got a wedding to go to this weekend, so hopefully bridesmaid type shit.
You a groomsman?
No.
Oh, but you hoping to bag a bridesmaid?
I'm hoping to bag a bridesmaid, type shit. You will, man. But fuck all that, man. We gotta talk about all the games that happened. Obviously, as Shabazz says, we can't move forward unless we reflect on the week that was. Trying to steal my bars. But before we begin, drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend and tell a friend. Enjoy your snacks, enjoy your water, enjoy what you gotta do, and let's get after it. There were some pretty good games, and there were some pretty boring games and mid games. Starting with Thursday Night Football, Cowboys beat the Giants. Giants cover. We kind of said the game script that would happen. Cowboys couldn't stop anybody, but the Giants can't score. So it's one of those things where like the Giants were able to move the ball really well, and they should obviously you want to win the games, but you should look damn we have a competent offense. You just have to put the ball in the end zone. Giants had to settle for 5 field goals. Not great. But the bigger story, of course, Micah Parsons, he got hurt. He's out for at least 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And Dexter Lawrence also got hurt. He got put on an IR today. So that defense that was already shaky, right? Already shaky. I'm gonna just put myself as he's fixing his sights. You guys, you good?
Yeah.
All right, but as a team that was already shaky on defense, they have 2 of the key guys getting hurt during this game. So what happens later on in the line, especially if they play a running quarterback in Justin Fields next, we'll talk about that tomorrow. But for the Giants, Malik Neighbors is him. He's great. The Giants are going to be fine. Obviously, they might not win many games, and they might not have a Commanders or a Vikings type season in terms of winning games. Oh my God! But they have the good building pieces to be a great team down the line. Don't be surprised if they start upsetting people because they have great, competent defense. Defense is awesome. The defense, at least the front 7, is awesome. Secondary, they got, and Matt talked about that the secondary was an issue. The front 7 stopped the run effectively. Dak didn't have a great game. He had a so-so game. Again, just score touchdowns, not field goals. That's one of them. It's one of my commandments. We talk, hey, bringing back the commandments, man, because the Saints pissing me off, man. The Saints pissing me off, but we're gonna talk about this later on. But again, good win by the Cowboys. They're 2-2. They right the ship. We'll see how it goes for the rest of the season. But for now, they celebrate the wins when you can get it. And also, Dak Prescott's 16-1 or some shit against the Giants. It's actually insane.
Yeah, I thought this game was a great team win for Dallas. Not really CD Lamb finally did some CD stuff, which was great. I did also think that if you're the Giants, you're like, okay, we got a certified dog in Neighbors, right? No matter what happens, he's dealing with concussion, right? Whatever, but no matter what happens, we have a dog. That's number one. How do we parlay that, and how do we build on that foundation of him as a dominant number 1 receiver? You don't tank this season. You really don't. You shouldn't. You should try to win as much game as you can. But you're okay with losing a little bit. You keep Daboll as the coach, and you draft a quarterback next season with your high pick. It's a litany of different college quarterbacks coming into the spot. All right. So you draft one of those guys, then you don't. This is the key. You don't play him. You let Daniel Jones play out the rest of his contract, at least because he's on the second year of a 4 year deal. You let him play out that third year, so then that fourth year you can just release him without with minor cap implications. Then you restart with the dog and neighbors with a second year quarterback with the experience of the knowledge of NFL lifestyle. And you also draft, if you can get him, probably can't, because this boy going high. Ashawn Genty from Boise State. You get an electric running back. Like I think Dallas should draft him. We're not doing NFL like draft prediction, whatever, but that'll be perfect. But getting because Devin Singletary, it's kind of like what you mentioned about backup quarterbacks. The law of like like eventually like you see who people are and what positions they are. So Devin Singletary can have 3 good games, but a team that knows they can't stop the run and you can't do anything. You average 1 yard a carry against a team that cannot stop the run. That says more about you than what it does about Dallas. So you need he's a good running back, but he's not a younger, more athletic, more electric running back, which you can get in the draft. So I worry about those two, and definitely in helping the back end. But for Dallas, you're 2-2. You host the Steelers next before your bye week. I mean, you go to the Steelers before your bye week. You you really want to go in 2-3. I mean, 3-2. We'll talk about that tomorrow, but we'll see.
We'll see.
Then
Go ahead.
get their first win against the Panthers. And it was a little nip and tuck in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. Andy Dalton was dealing against his old team. And it had me thinking, like, yo, you mentioned it, yes, like last week, where like these old quarterbacks, like they seen it all and done it all. Like the Andy Dalton factor, like the Joe Flacco factor. Yo, like these guys were battling against like the Legion of Boom, the '09 Jets, like very like the Ravens, especially for Andy Dalton and like whatever, like these older quarterbacks who've been there and done that. It's too high safety thing is barbecue chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Barbecue
Mm-hmm.
chicken for, like Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton was cooking. I think he had like a bad pick. He had a bad pick. Joe Flacco. I said Joe Flacco. Joe Burrow had a bad pick as well. But the defense still can't stop anybody, and they allow like 500 and like 20 something yards in their first 4 games, which has me thinking, had me looking like Birdman because who guess who come to town? My Ravens. You know what I'm saying? But Bengals got to win. Chase did his thing. Burrow did his thing. T didn't score, but he had like 6 catches for like 70 yards. So like all the big three, and then they ran the ball fairly well. Like to be honest, they ran the ball fairly well against the Panthers. So you can't. It doesn't matter how you get it done, but you got it done.
Yeah.
Panthers, you like okay, we win, we lose. Like they kind of tanking a little bit to whatever. So similar to the Giants, you get the wins, you get the wins. Don't it's whatever. But they're gonna fight hard for sure.
Yeah, I'll be quick. Bengals offense was not the issue. And even though they beat the Panthers, like your defense still leaves a lot to be desired. And as Shabazz says, yeah, the Ravens coming to town next week, which are gonna hoof. If based on how they played and if they can continue what they've been doing in the last couple of weeks in running the ball, I think the Bengals are going to be for a bad game, especially we'll talk about it tomorrow. But on the Bengals offensive side, there's no issues on the offense. Yes, Joe Burrow can't keep turning the ball over, but he played a great game. Their offense is cooking. Jamar Chase, despite his contract dispute, is still out here balling, right, making players miss. Someone a reporter was like, they asked him about his 60-yard touchdown run, like, who gave you baby oil? And he was like, "Whoa, is it you asking the wrong person that shit?" So again, the offense for the Bengals is not the issue, and they haven't been the issue. Yeah, week 1, take week one off to the side. Yeah, it's always week one. It's always weird. It's their defense that's concerned. I think they're 29th or 30th in the league in scoring defense, which, again, like, yes, you want to be able to stop people from scoring, and cool. Like the Saints have a top 10 defense when it comes to scoring, but overall it's like top 20 because we give up yards. We'll talk about that later. Regardless, though, Bengals will be fine. Not necessarily next week, but for now, they got the win. They got the win they needed, and we'll see how it goes. Panthers, it's the Panthers. You're not expected to win these games. Not a lot of games. You got the Bears next week, so try to screw over the Bears if you can, because again, they have your second. They have the 30 whatever your pick in the second round is. They have that pick, so you can screw them by beating them. You can screw them by winning. Like it doesn't like or losing. Like it doesn't really matter. But try to put up a better effort. And then you don't. Yeah, I think there's gonna reach a point though, like that, oh my God, Andy Dalton's so great. And then like whoosh, it's like, that's why he was a backup. It
Yeah.
might come sooner than we think. But for now, he's looking competent. And speaking of the opposite of competent, this game sucked. Broncos upset another 7.5 point favorite in the Jets on the road again. This is back-to-back weeks on the road. They go to the opponent's stadium. They're 7.5 point dogs and beat them outright. This game, I will say, Hurricane Helen or Helene, I think is how you say it, went through the East Coast and went towards Indiana as well. So those who are impacted by the hurricane, of course, prayers and thoughts of which you guys obviously get safe and be safe with that. But the Jets, that game was rainy and gross and ugly. And yeah, the Broncos just made it ugly and gross. Their defense is underrated. I got to give them a lot of credit. Their defense, again, we always like, oh, this only have Pat Surtain and nobody else. But that one guy makes it's like he's like the engine that kind of generates everything else. Also, the Jets don't really have a pass blocking offensive line still. So yeah, even if you're subpar, you can still get after Aaron Rodgers. He just looked off. He looked off. And then they go to London against the Vikings team that's offensively competent. I don't know, man. I don't know what the Jets. I don't know what to think. I'm not like doubt. They're 2-2, right?
Mhm.
They're 2-2. Then you're like, okay, like what's going on with them, right? They beat the Patriots, cool, but that was it's the Patriots. You're supposed to like you're winning games. You're supposed to great. This was a seven. You would have gone on a 3 game winning streak for the first time in forever if you was able to take care of business, but you couldn't because turnovers and sloppy play, missed field goals by Greg Zerline at the gun. It's just all those little things, and then coaching. A lot of people are blaming Robert Saleh, which I'm not saying they're right or just in that manner, but I'm like, Aaron Rodgers ain't no spring chicken either. He's not completely absolved from his crimes in this offense.
Mhm.
So their defense played lights out. Yeah, it's Bo Nix, but they only held them to 10 points. They did their job,
Yeah.
but you can't score on the goal line with Brees Hall, which I had a parlay. If he scored a touchdown, I would have won like $100, but I'm tight. It is what it is. Regardless, though, you can't score with Brees Hall, can't score with Garrett Wilson, can't score with Braylon Allen. Mike Williams is dogging corners and he's making plays, but it comes at them. It's the head coach and quarterback, and a lot of people are saying Robert Saleh needs to go. I'm not. I don't know. I don't care about the Jets enough to say that or think that, but they need to figure out something fast because I don't. They got the Vikings in London next week. They're staring 2 and 3 down the pike, and again, their schedule doesn't get easier. Well, it does because they play like a third place schedule, but no, it doesn't because they play the Bills. They play the Bills Monday Night Football the week after. So 2 and 4 down the pike. So be careful. And then they play the Steelers and play the Patriots again. So hopefully they'll be right the ship then. But luckily the division is ass except for Buffalo. The Patriots suck and the Dolphins.
Ooh, we're gonna talk about that later.
Well,
Great analysis there. I think this game, you win with 60 yards passing, because I think he had like -7 in the first half, and he ended up with 60. Like, and you still win the game. That just goes like, bro, like it's not the defense. I would critique you if your side of the ball was inept. So like Robert Saleh, is the defensive coordinator. He calls a great defense. Like that defense had a great game. The offense, that's Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett. Like that Sean Payton, man, like he was smoking that Hackett packet, like because it would look now. Granted, the rain and the ugly weather in MetLife grad turf is not the best, but you're not gonna make excuses like that. Like I'm not. I think the cadence thing. You're at the goal. You're goal to goal. It's just a score, and you get two back to back full starts.
Yeah, that's like 13 total penalties. Like that's coaching.
Like that's coaching, and that's also Aaron Rodgers trying to be like he trying to like be consistent with what if I forgot who was the quote. I think Matt Hasselbeck on Colin Cowherd said if you're like closer to the safety, like you're like your end zone, if you do a hard count, like you're half a distance. But if you're at goal to goal with a chance to score a touchdown and ooh, hard count, cadence, full start. That's 5 yards back, 5 yards back. And you make a first and goal at the one, making first and goal at the 11, which is definitely way more difficult. So I don't know. I feel like they got some things to work out. Shall be a great game in London. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Now, this game, I think you threw a pick six and you muffed a punt for a touchdown. So defensively, like you only allowed 10 points. No, like you
No,
16.
four field goals, four field goals.
Fourth real. So no touchdowns. Like your defense did their thing. Offensively, I thought you guys definitely had a great chance to win when like Derek Carr led you guys like fourth quarter drive, like he was driving and you guys scored, and I was like, okay, I'm rocking with this. But Taysom Hill, he got the first two touchdowns, and then I guess he got hurt. You'll talk about that more.
His abdomen, yeah.
And then like once he got hurt, like you guys kind of became like one dimensional. Now Olave had a great game. I thought he had like I was watching Red Zone and like every 5 seconds, when they were showing the Saints highlight after Taysom Hill got injured, it was Chris Olave with a first down catch for Chris Olave. So like that's the recipe for success. Now Devontae Adams on the trade block. We was talking about it in the group chat. Definitely would love it in New Orleans. I would love that because it puts a lot. It's easy. It's easy to double team Olave. It's hard to double team Olave and Devontae Adams. So, and plus you got Rashichi as the deep guy, who actually he in this game was more of a like possession receiver, like more of like the you need a clutch third down conversion. He was going to Rashichi, and he was doing his thing after the catch as well. So I think he's trying to develop his game to another level as well. So he's on the up and up as in terms of receivers on my radar for sure. Like I thought he was just a deep threat. His every touchdown you see is him doing like a 60-yard catch for a touchdown. But he's trying to develop as another receiver and not be put in a box, which I can amend that. And you gotta shout out to the Falcons. They did thing. BS, you know what I'm saying? BS penalty at the end by Paulson and Debo, but that's all right. But I'm a dip. Talk your ish gang.
Okay, so firstly, so I'm gonna try to be quick, but I can't because I'm just it's infuriating where these are the type of games where you shouldn't lose. Let me explain. So firstly, last year, let's go back to last year. 2-0. Like, okay, cool. We're feeling good, feeling good. We're on the road at Green Bay, week 3. We are up 18-0 or 18-3. Packers come 17-0. I apologize. Packers come back down. They score. Defense chokes, gives up a lead, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're down again. We have to come out, and then we miss a field goal to win it. So that's week 3 last year. Now let's go back to this year, week 3 last week, or in this case, 2 weeks ago. Offense, defense playing. Well, defense is playing their asses off, getting turnovers, fourth down stops, and obviously the Eagles, Nick Sirianni just being dumb, boneheaded. But then offense picks it up, get the game clinching touchdown. And the Eagles have, let's say, 2 minutes to go down the field and try to score a touchdown. They need a touchdown. They can't get a field goal. And what happens? We're playing man coverage the entire time. We stick to what we're still stick to what works. Stick to what works. Man coverage is what we do. And then three guys run into each other. Dallas got us run down the sideline. Saquon scored a touchdown. And now we're chasing again, trying to score a touchdown. This game already started off bad. I'm not saying Derek Carr is absolved because he did throw a pick six, but let me talk about this game. So first and foremost, defense for the most part, the tale of two halves. First half, defense played lights out. They wasn't Bijan didn't do shit this game. Kyle Pitts regular zeros on the stat sheet. Drake London, he was having a pretty good couple games in a couple of weeks in a row, and then, nope, nothing. Darnell Mooney had some good moments, and Tyler Algier as well. I gotta give them credit; they made it happen. But the very first possession, they punt. Why is Rich? Why? Be calm. Be calm. Why is an All-Pro punt returner and Rashid Shaheed trying to catch a punt inside of the 3-yard line? Not even doing like fair catch it. I didn't see what's going on. He's trying to be showboaty and cute about it. Do an overhand grab for no reason. Inside of his own 3-yard line. He muffs it. Falcons recover. They're up 7-0. Off rip. Offense hasn't stepped on the field yet. Defense got off the field. Now we have a normal drive. We go down the field. Efficient. For boom, 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 going down the field, score a touchdown. They punt again. We score again. I lied. They kick a field goal. I lied. Time out. They threw a pick. Because Kirk Cousins. We go down the field again. We score. So it's 14-7. Offense hasn't done anything. Then they go down the field a little bit, 10 plays, kick a field goal. And so right now it's 14-10. Our offense can't be stopped. We're chilling. We're cooking. They send a blitz. One of those, you hit the screen. Lineman hits it up in the air. Yoink. But everyone's already blocking on the other side of the field. So it's a pick six. Boom. All right. So now it's 17-14. So, okay, fuck. Then our offense stalls. Our offense does nothing. Punt, 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 punt. Their offense does nothing. Punt, 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 punt. They kick a field goal. We kick a field goal. Then this is what pissed. There's two things that pissed me off in the fourth quarter. So firstly, let me just set the scene. So we're down right now. We're down 24. I want to say we're down. Hold on, I'll get the actual score. We're down to 20. We're down 20-17. Okay. We're down 20-17. Then they kick a field goal to go up 23-17. We need a touchdown to win. We're in the goal line. First and goal. Don't get in the end zone. Predetermined reads by Carr. We get a stop. We get the ball back. Then obviously we could go down the field. Chris Olave scores a touchdown. Correct. No, I lied. Kamara scores a touchdown. We're up 24-30. Also, before I continue, people were like, wait, why was Derek Carr doing the QB sneaks? Because we're trying to make them waste their timeouts. Look, all the clock down. Because we knew it was going to end at this. It was going to either we were going to lose going for fourth down and goal, or Kamara was going to score a touchdown. So they played it smart. People on Good Morning Football was confused by the decision. At the end of the day, bullshit, but not bullshit pass interference. It was a bad call because it's like, damn, it happened to my team or the team that I bet on, the team that I love so much. But Paulson Adebo was getting torched the entire game. Lattimore, he handled his business. He didn't get thrown at all, really. Lattimore handled business. Alontae Taylor, the safeties. Tyrann Mathieu was out for most of the game, which I'm like, I don't know what's going on with that. But Paulson Adebo was getting torched the entire game. And again, went down the field again. They kick a 58-yard field goal at the gun to win it, basically, essentially. I say all this to say, I saw this on Twitter, and I'm gonna read it to you guys. Shabazz, you can come back. It's fine. So I'm gonna read to something what happened with how the craziness of this game, and you're like, the Saints had more first downs, more plays, more drives, more time of possession, more passing yards, more total yards, more touchdowns, better in the red zone, less penalties. The defense allowed no touchdowns, and we still lost. That makes fucking sense. I know it's the NFL, and it's like a team game. It's all three phases you got to be great in. We wasn't great on special teams, and we wasn't great on offense, at least for that one play for the pick six. Our defense balled out, but then all of a sudden it crumbles. And Dennis Allen has to wear this because he's a defensive-minded guy. He's the guy on defense. But when back-to-back weeks we have a lead, Then all of a sudden, your defense crumbles the lead away. We should be 4-0 right now. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We should be 4-0. Because Philly, we're going to talk about them in a couple games, look absolutely awful. We should be 4-0. Should be. And the Falcons look bad. We made them look bad. We made them look terrible. But our defensive line gets no pass rush, no pressure against a 36-year-old guy coming off an Achilles. How the hell we can't get? We only had like 1-2 sacks on him. How? How? So it's one of those things. We play the Chiefs on Monday Night Football. No Saints fan is optimistic. None of us are. We're like, damn, we're gonna go 2-3. Then we play the Bucs, who are looking great on offense. We're gonna go 2-4. And then we play the Broncos Thursday Night Football afterwards. There's a lot. It started off so great with Clint Kubiak and this offense and Derek Carr making it happen for first 2 weeks of the season. But because your offense finally comes back down to earth, and it's like boom, what the fuck happened? And then again, the offense hasn't been the problem as a whole. Yeah, there's been moments of deadness, but that defense, we get a touchdown late to win the game, and we can't get a stop. The entire game we're getting stops the entire time. But when we need it most, they disappear like the Avatar. Obviously, I'm not one of the fans. I always think we're going to go undefeated. Of course. I know losses like this happen. I get that. I do. Because it's like, bro, what the hell? You dominate. There's one of those losses where it's like, you should next time you're going to put the paws on them because you lost off of a muff punt and a pick six. If one of those two things doesn't happen, we're winning.
Absolutely.
Happen and we lose. If again we joke around with Matt, if ifs was the splits, we'd all be smacked. If ifs was the fifth, we'd all be drunk. Order coulda shouldas, we didn't. We're 2-2. How do we handle this adversity? And before we continue on with this Vikings game, because that's the Vikings game, Alvin Kamara, he'll have my heart forever. I'm glad I got his jersey when I did. This dude is battling with a bad hip, bad back, bad ribs rather, and a contract dispute, and still is leading our team down the field and scoring touchdowns for us, picking up blocks. He's doing everything he can for the Saints to win, and we're just not winning, which is pissing me off because, one, give that man his contract indefinitely. He wants to retire a Saint. Give him whatever the fuck he wants. Give him whatever he wants. He deserves it. He's earned it. So we just got to right the ship. And again, I'm pessimistic now, but tomorrow night, I'll puff out my chest, go to Kansas City, Monday Night Football. We're going to make it happen. But we'll see. We'll see. We're a good team. We just, again, it's the difference between being good and being great, or being good or being just serviceable, is coaching. And those little minute things. It's a game of inches, literally and in the mindset. Those little things that matter at the end of the day. Don't look at the stats. It's like in the game itself, what matters? Playing. So I know. I'm sorry. I rambled on a lot, but I apologize. But you're gonna do the same thing with the Ravens, so we'll talk about that when we get there. So we move on. Saints 2-2. Vikings remain perfect as they beat the Packers 31-29. This was a tale of two halves. The Vikings looked like gangbusters, go up on 28-0 on them, like nothing. Jordan Love looked bad, had 2 bad interceptions. They just couldn't move the ball at all. Brian Flores is masterclass. And all of a sudden, you take your foot off the gas, and then they come storming back. They scored a touchdown right before halftime, and I was like, that game might not be over yet. And all of a sudden, they score again. And again, I'm like, oh, and then Sam Darnold throws a pick. And I'm like, geez. But they made plays when it mattered most. Justin Jefferson, he's top 1. He's top 2, but not 2. He's him scoring another touchdown. That's the bet every week, bro. Just bet him to score a touchdown every week. He's awesome. Sam Darnold, again, outside of that interception, he made it happen. Hey, Vikings, man. The Vikings are real. Now, again, they go to London and play the Jets. We'll talk about that game tomorrow. But come back from London 5-0 potentially and see what happens. It'll be the last undefeated team.
Oh,
type shit.
I see.
Go ahead, man. Good job for the Vikings, man.
Oh yeah, great job for the Vikings. This was Jordan Love's first game back. obviously, and I was saying it in the group chat because my boy, shout out to JR, he has both Sam Darnold and Jordan Love. He's like, well, who do I start? And I was like, yo, you go with Sam because Jordan Love's coming back over. You don't know how he's gonna look. And plus, the Vikings defense, shown in the first half, was elite. Plus, two missed kicks by the Packers, which proved like you score those two, you score one. It's a different ball game. So they got to work that out with the kicker. But Jordan Love he looked good. They got to go back to running the ball a little bit. Now, obviously, you can't when you're down like 21-0. But I think if they can get some balance going and start fast and put some pressure off of Jordan Love, they will be a better team. Like Xavier McKinney, I was talking shit. My fault. My fault. Like I think he has like another interception on his I think he has one pick a game. Like he gets an interception every game. Like he's doing his thing. So shout out to him. Jair tried his best, but Justin Jefferson, he got his leg back from last year. So we'll see. Packers play. I think they play the Rams, right?
Yeah.
They play the Rams. That should be a good game. I think the Packers should definitely win that. We'll see how it goes. Jags almost had it. Almost had it, but it just goes to show you, man. Like it's not even about CJ. There's no glaze to CJ, bro. Like opportunities, like you gotta grab them when they're there. Like there was one instance where they had a touchdown and the guy dropped it, and that's the difference, you know. And told you Brian Thomas Jr. That's my guy right there. So, and he scored a touchdown. He dropped a pass or two. So, with the highs came the lows. If you're Houston, all right, we beat our division opponent, right? So that's a divisional win. We're 3-1. CJ's balling. Nico's dogging. He leads the league in receiving. No one would have had that as a parlay. And you're like, they scored a touchdown, so Diggs is happy, Nico's happy. Like they can't run the ball, but I think when Mixon comes back, that situation will be mitigated.
What?
Defense,
Shabazz giving credit to Joe Mixon?
he's better than what he got right now. Cam Akers
Year
and
of our Lord 2024. Shabazz and Joe Mixon.
oh no, he's still ass, but he's better than what he got. You know what I mean? Alright. So Houston's gonna be a scary out, and they play Buffalo, so that's gonna be a that's if we could flex schedules this early in the season. I wish this was like a Monday night or like a 4:30 game because this is a 1 o'clock slate, but along with the Ravens, Bengals, and all the other, I'm like, damn, we got some high quality matchups this week. But of course, we got Cowboys, Steelers, and then we got unfortunately Saints and the Chiefs. That's a good Monday night game. But other than that, it's like, so we'll see. We'll see.
For me, you said it best. The Jets got to win these type of games when they have a chance to. They're the only winless team. I said there's nothing redeeming about the Jags. I was wrong. I said that they look competent for the first time all season. Actually, the second time. They looked good in the first half against Miami. So someone said this, and I'm gonna be quick. We move on because I don't really want to talk about this game. I don't really have much to say. The agenda begins with this Trevor Lawrence. I don't know if it's an agenda that I mean I kind of already started last season, but he's getting paid more than Daniel Jones, and he has worse stats than him. Let that sink in. All I'm saying is like a lot of people, myself included, gave the Giants shit for signing Daniel Jones to that $40 million a year thing. It's looking like a steal because at least he has a win this season. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
Yoki should have been too. I ain't gonna lie.
Could be too, but again, that's all I'm gonna say on that. Steelers take their first L of the season as the Colts win 27-24. Again, this is another game, tell 2 halves. Colts, like Steelers, and this is what, and then as being an AFC North fan as you are, you probably understand the Steelers more than anybody. They play to the level of competition.
A lot.
Meaning, if they're playing like the old school Patriots back in the day, You knew that game was going to be like 24-21 or whatever. If they play in like the old Browns, there would somehow, somewhere in the fourth quarter is going to be a dogfight, right? So it's like like the Colts don't have a good defense, they don't, and yet somehow, some way, their defense and with T.J. Watt, with Minka Fitzpatrick, which was a bullshit unsport personal foul called on him because Adonai Mitchell couldn't catch the ball, and Minka Fitzpatrick like cracked him before he could catch it. Regardless, bullshit. Colts AR5 got hurt, and again we talked about this Andy Dalton. When you have a mature guy and Joe Flacco as your backup coming in, he's seen it all. He's done it all already. He's seen and done everything he needs to do as a quarterback. So that one MVP. But elite Necky Sock Flacco comes down and scores a couple touchdowns. Yes, he had some bad sacks because again he's old, but Justin Fields, I gotta give Justin Fields credit. This was again, just like what we'll talk about the Bears next. Just like with Caleb Williams, every week he's gotten better and better and leading the team and doing other stuff. Same thing with Justin Fields. Justin Fields every week, slowly but surely, is getting better and better and better. Obviously they still lose. Colts take care of business. George Pickens. I don't know if you're gonna talk about that fumble because this game got out of hand quick because George Pickens, he caught a fantastic catch. He's holding the ball. I'm gonna try to demonstrate it with this can. This dude's holding it like this, like he's holding it like with his fingertips, and then like just drops the ball in bounds in the goal line. And then all of a sudden, the Colts get the ball back and then they go downfield again. It's like, bruh, like at this point, what are we doing? Colts won 2 games in a row. They're 2-2 as well. Hey, man, there's a lot of good teams that are 2-2. Saints, Ravens. There's a lot of bad teams that are 2-2. Time will tell what happens, but after being 4 weeks in the season, if your team is 2-2 or above, you're on the right track. You're doing something special.
Absolutely. This game for me was just the meme of like Joe Flacco beating the Steelers. It's like it that's pretty much what happened. Like shout out to Jonathan Taylor too, because he got hurt and he still played well too. So like, he's a warrior. For some reason, like again, we talked about it last week. Like the Anthony Richardson experiment, it's there, but like also like you're glad you got a veteran who can actually do his thing, and it gives Anthony Richardson time to just recalibrate and lock in, bro, because he's not playing well. Like I think he leads the league in yards at attempt. That's what Nick Wright said today, but he has like the lowest completion percentage. So it's like you can't be throwing bombs all the time. Like, come on now. Steelers defense low key got exposed a little bit. They can get ran on if you commit to the run. Like TJ Watt didn't get a sack, which is like, oh, like that was me, you, Matt, Ed, like all of us was talking about like, oh, TJ Watt's gonna wreck the game and he's gonna be the reason why they win, and he didn't do anything. So we'll see. We'll see. They played the Cowboys Sunday night, and will I put my money on it? Probably not, but there's avenues for the Steelers to definitely get that upset. And shout out to Justin Fields, as you mentioned. He's just ascending, getting better and more confident, and confidence is king in this league. So shout out to Justin Fields as well.
Big facts.
Bears look good? Question mark? Imoni? No, they still don't look good. No. Bro. When Caleb Williams threw for 3 something in garbage time, you ain't asked me this. I wasn't here for this. He game managed, which is fine. He game managed, and they finally was able to run the ball, which is why you got DeAndre Swift, and this is the first good game of DeAndre Swift in a long time. And the Rams, like, they had a chance to win, and Matthew Stafford, first of all, a pick he threw in the end zone, which got called back because that's football karma right there. Because it got called back because the dude touched out of bounds first. So it was like a illegal touching kind of thing. So then you're like, okay, like, interesting. Fast forward fourth quarter with a chance to win the game, he throws an interception. So you're like, you want it there. Stafford's trying his best, but it's kind of hard to do it with no real weapons there. I thought this was going to be a big Kyron game, but Kyron didn't do much either. He scored a touchdown, right? Yeah, he did, right?
Yeah.
Because the only I had a 4 touchdown parlay, and he did, Justin Jefferson did, and Alvin did, but freaking Josh Jacobs did. So I was tight, but Rams. Rams just trying to get healthy because there's still a chance. This week 4, the first quarter is done. Now you're on the second quarter. Now you're into October. Bears 2-2. Like a lot of people, I thought they were gonna be 2-2, but how they got there, now they got the Panthers at home. Why are these home games so early? It's like they're making it so easy for Caleb. Hmm.
Look, man,
You
you're
know,
right. Again,
NFL's rigged for Caleb, man.
the agenda is real, bro. The
The
agenda is
agenda.
real.
They're trying to. It's an industry plan. They're trying to force him up to be
All right, okay.
what my young goat Jaden Daniels is. That's all I'm saying.
All right,
You
fair
know,
enough. Fair enough. We're talking about Jay Daniels in a couple games. Mine would be quick. I seen it I be hanging out with a Bears fan and Bears family. I watch every snap of every game for Bears because I have to. Because again, he has 4 TVs, and the big TV is Bears. The one on the right is Red Zone. The one up top is Saints, and the one on the left is whatever game we just like want to bet on. So again, I watch every snap of this game. Two halves. But again, as the game gets better, again, shout out one person who doesn't get the love because as much you don't like Caleb Williams, I know you probably don't even know this guy, but kind of do DJ Moore.
I love that guy.
Love me some DJ Moore. He was blocking his ass off for DeAndre Swift, and again, he was making plays for the first time all season, and then all of a sudden,
Like the
the
no look catch,
offense,
he's like
yeah,
that was beautiful.
offense is competent with a running game, and then DJ Moore still there. Keenan Allen's making good catches. Roma Dunze. The Rams secondary is basuda. They kept getting exposed and they kept fouling and they kept holding or pass interference. That's how the Bears kept moving down the field. Again, I'm not saying they look good or great or Super Bowl contenders, but their defense is going to keep them in games. I've said this before. I've said this all season. Their
Yeah,
defense will keep them in games. It's whether or not their offense will catch up. And again, they have an interception to seal the game. Montez Sweat was all over the field in terms of harassing Matthew Stafford. Their secondary, though, I guess the linebackers, shaky. And they're not going to face a Matthew Stafford every week because Matthew Stafford was able, every time he dropped back and threw the ball, it was, Rams going to catch it. Like it literally, that's how it felt every single time. It's like, as soon as if he was able to get the throw off, it was going to be a first down or someone down the field. So Bears bend but not break defense and clutch. They made it happen. Bucks handle business against Philly. Again, as a New Yorker, as a whatever, it's fuck Philly. But also Nick Sirianni, I Nick Sirianni's got to go, in my opinion. I don't really want people's jobs to be gone and livelihoods to be destroyed. But Nick Sirianni, he's a bitch to me.
oh
Like he just has that. Like, you ever have a guy who's a punchable face?
yeah,
That's Nick Sirianni, bro. For me, he coaches like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. CJ Gardner Johnson again got torched again for another touchdown. That's 4 touchdowns given up on in 4 weeks. Terrible. If you're a corner and it's one thing. It's okay. Oh, it happens. It's Mike Evans that scored. It's Chris Olave that scored. That's fine. But if you're talking so much shit before the game, but
you
literally in the tunnel before the game starts, we're gonna put belt to asses on the Bucks. And what happened? You got cooked.
they put
Your defense got destroyed. Defense got put belt to ass. And the game, they only won by 17. This game was out of the control after the first quarter. It was 21-0 after the first quarter. Like, no. Like, if Jalen Hurts doesn't have AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, he is, and I'm not trying to call people's jobs out, but he's pedestrian. Oh, you're 2 top 10 receivers in the league or top 20. Cool. You don't have them. Okay, what happens? Matthew Stafford is out here trying his best and willing his team against the fucking 49ers without Cooper Kupp and Puka Nakua. Or Tyler Higbee, for that matter. and they're still winning games somehow, some way. But we don't have two guys. You still have fucking Saquon Barkley,
They do.
and you put up 16 points, really 14 because you had a block PAT that went back for two. So make pick two, if you will. Regardless, though, Philly sucks. Bucks. Hey, again, as the weeks go on, I think Baker Mayfield will slowly come back down to earth. But for now, I can't be a hater. He's balling. Yes, he had one bad week. The one bad week we didn't need him to have against the Broncos, he had it. But he recalibrated. He locked in. He got back into the lab and said, "Okay, that was a blemish. It wasn't a trend. It was just a one-time blip on the radar." He's back to being himself. They play the Falcons on Thursday Night Football. To be honest, can it end in a tie? Can teams just lose? I don't know how it's going to work. But regardless, though, great win by Tampa Bay, and they're right now 3-1, leading the division. I gotta give them credit. They're handling. They beating the good teams that they're supposed to beat. They beat the Commanders. They beat Philly. They beat Detroit in Detroit. So like the wins are like, you gotta pay attention to Tampa Bay. Gotta give them like all the credit in the world. They're not fluky at all.
For sure, for sure. Philly gets me so irritated because the excuses is already there. Like, oh, AJ Brown's out. He wasn't out. He was out since week 1. Oh, Devontae, he's out. He's been out. You had a week to game plan without him. It's not like he got injured mid game. Like the Saints game, you still eat that out. You kudos, but you game plan without him for this game against a suspect pass defense in Tampa Bay, and you can't do anything with Dallas Goddard. But yet, they like for me, it's like, dude, you make it so you simplify the game when you don't have your like don't you don't have the same game plan when you have AJ Brown Devontae. Obviously, you don't have the facilities for that big man. You simplify the game down. You make it. Hey, if it's Jalen Hurts, RB keep or QB keep, Saquon, Dallas Goddard, true sprinkles of Jahan Dotson, whoever else is on the roster. But dude, like you make it so simple because one big run, Saquon, the first time he got a real opportunity, almost housed it. Like, dude, like it's annoying, bro. It's annoying. Like, and Colin Cowherd was like, "Yo, what you could do is fire him, and hire Bill Belichick, because you're on a bye week, so you have 10 days to prepare." And it's like, "Yo, that's not a bad idea." But hey, that shout out to the Bucks. Like, Bucks is cooking, which makes it better when you play them, and it also makes it better when we play them Monday night. And I think a couple weeks from now, like that's gonna be a nice highlight of the game. Uh, Real quick, 49ers back on track. Ayuk got clamped up by Christian Gonzalez. He got clamped up, like, and this is like that. He's the only bright spot to the Patriots right now. Ramondre Stevenson's fumbling consistently now, which is shaky. And then Brock Purdy did his thing. Like, you can't fault it. Like, there was a great team, and like I love Roquan. He's a thumper, but in terms of like coverage, being versatile and being able to cover and like catch the rock, hit people, force from, like, in terms of like a player, he is the best linebacker in the game.
Fred Warner is go, man.
Like,
He's
Fred Warner is like he is that guy, and to catch, I think it was like a 40-yard pick six. So he caught it, he high pointed it, like it was like Madden 11, and like throw it a certain way, you had to watch out for the linebackers, and he pulled that kind of play, stood on his feet, and housed it. That was just a great defensive play. And 49ers 2-2, get back on track after 2 bad losses. And now they got Arizona coming into town. So we'll see how it goes.
Word, I'm gonna be quick as well. The defense locked in against the Patriots, so it's like they get back on track. Like that's the game. It's like, all right, let's figure out who we want to be. Nick Bosa got a sack. Fred Warner again. As Chisel Adonis, if you watch his commentary every week, shout out to him. He says literally every single week is a highlight of Fred Warner doing something. He's like, again, Fred Warner, best linebacker in the game, and there's nothing that you can't dispute that. The only thing that Free doesn't have, he has all pros, he has Pro Bowls, he has all the accolades individually. He just doesn't have a Super Bowl ring. Get that? Hall of Famer. He obviously doesn't need the ring to be in the Hall of Fame, but man, he's fantastic.
Yep.
Brock Purdy, I gotta give him credit too. He's been, yes, he had some bad losses, but like even last week's loss against the Rams wasn't really his fault. That was just the defense collapsing against Matthew Stafford. But he did his thing. Like again, it's the Vikings. That was a bad loss on him. But he's been slowly warming up to me. But the guy that you love and you claim you put the stake in the claim ASAP, Jaden Daniels, they keep rolling. I think this is the first time in like 5 years or 6 years since like RG3 that they scored over 35 points in back-to-back weeks. The Commanders are rolling, man. The Commanders are rolling. They're good. They're fantastic. And Terry McLaurin, he's been one of my underrated darlings for when I was doing fantasy consistently in almost in every league. I had Terry McLaurin in almost every league. I love Terry McLaurin. I love the fact that he finally has a quarterback to get him the ball. Man, the Commanders right now, they're rolling. They play the Browns next week, I believe. And yeah, they do. They host the Browns
this week, and then they play us after.
So hey,
this is a test.
AFC North football, yes, the Browns defense notwithstanding, we'll talk about them. They locked in a little bit in the second half, but the AFC North teams back to back. Can you stand the rain? Can you get take the hit still? Because that was one of the big knocks about him in college, or not in college, but like in the pros, he was thin and small. Can he take the hits? Hey, if he's getting the ball out and completing again, I don't even miss he has more touchdown drives than incompletions.
It's crazy.
That's fucking wild, bro. That's fucking wild. Like he is cooking, bro. Accurate and athletic, man. If the Commanders keep rolling, and I told you in the I said that they'd be second in the division. I said it in our prediction video. They're right now leading the NFC East, and amen, same man. I was wrong about Philly, but amen, same man. Commanders up, man.
I think this is so I'm bullish. I'm happy for Jaden. He's definitely proven the doubters wrong. I will say this though, and I forgot who said it, so I want to give them credit, but I can't. I forgot. I think it was Nick Wright. So as much wrong as he be doing sometimes, he do be right. No pun intended. With Cliff Kingsbury offenses, they tend to start very fast. Remember Arizona? There was 10-0. Kyle looked like the MVP, and then they hit a wall, and it was over. So the inevitable wall of a Cliff Kingsbury offense is going to happen. When does it happen? And if they have the guy, which I believe they have the guy, can he overcome that? Especially the rookie wall. Everything is peaches and cream right now. But they played Cincinnati, defense is trash. Arizona's defense is trash. The Giants, defense is trash. Past week,
secondary is trash.
Secondary. And then Tampa, who before they got injured, exposed a little bit of the flaws. So it's like when they play these Browns and the Ravens back to back, it's like we'll see if this can continue. I'm loving it right now. I'm loving it.
Real quick on Arizona, what's going on? I don't know. Like they're not playing terrible. They're not like the worst team in the league, but it's like, bruh, back-to-back weeks where like we think you're gonna show up offensively at least. We know defensively you're still a work in progress. But we think offensively you're gonna do something with Kyler and Marvin Harrison. He scored again, by the way. We can't pick a read on you. Like they're not seeing anything to sink our teeth into. 2 weeks ago, you destroyed the Rams. We haven't seen that competence since offensively. So we got to start. Hey, they're 1-3, but we got to start saying, I know, you play the Commanders. Yes, you play the Lions. But those are you want to be in the upper echelon of the NFC. These are the teams you have to beat. And I'm putting the Commanders on that list as well. So lock in.
Chiefs, you win the game. You win another close game, but at what cost? Rasheed Rice is done. It's not an ACL confirmed yet. I think that's tomorrow, maybe Monday. But He's not. He's gonna be out for at least a month, if not the whole season. So it's tough. You win that defense. Chris Jones is a monster. We knew this already. But the caveat, or not the caveat, the little chinks in the armor starting to show. Then you got Joe Alt not playing, Rashawn Slater not playing, Herbert's on a he's 50% healthy, Derwin James is suspended, and Mahomes is still not playing well, despite it all. He's still not playing well. And he's tops of the MVP. Like, why? How? Like how? It's not like when Tom Brady went 16-0 and he had like 4,500 yards. Like, no, he's not playing well. They're winning games. You got to give them credit, but like they still top five team for sure. But like I don't know, a loss is gonna come. It might come Monday. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Type shit. Type shit. You see it. For me, yeah, the Chargers. Again, this was going to be an uphill battle regardless. Derwin James was suspended. Joe Alt was out. Rashad Slater was out. Like they don't have receivers. Like Justin Herbert's on one leg, and then yeah, they're up 10-0. But again, when you can't sustain drives because your offensive line's banged up, and again, hey, gotta give credit to Chris Jones. Like he makes impactful plays during this stretch. Oh, week one, he was all harassing Lamar Jackson the entire time, right? This week, he had a key sack against Justin Herbert. It's like those moments are like, oh yeah, he had a sack, or damn, he had like two pressures or five pressures. But it's like impactful moments during the game when this is happening. So you gotta tip your cap to him. And again, the Chiefs. That's the difference between elite teams and good teams. You can play bad offensively and mold it over, but when it matters most, coaching and fantastic quarterback play rules the day at the end of the day. Raiders, they lock in defensively without Max Crosby, by the way, to beat the Browns 20-16. Devontae Adams also, for those who don't know, requested a trade. Come to New Orleans, go to Buffalo. Not Buffalo, go to Baltimore. But regardless, though, without those two guys, they still beat Cleveland. I'm gonna be quick. I'm driving back from South Bend. This game got interesting in the fourth quarter because the Raiders had terrible clock management.
Yeah,
If they just and then they fumbled and had a scoop and score. So this game was 20 to what was it, 20-13 or 20-10. One of those two. And this game should have been over. But no, the Raiders have terrible clock management and sold almost sold it back. They didn't. They clutched up at the end. But man, I'm not this. Both of these teams fucking suck, and I'm not. I don't blame Devontae Adams at all for requesting a trade. I don't.
I don't blame him either. I think, the reason why it should have been, I think Justin Hopkins missed the extra point. So it was supposed to be 2017, which puts a lot less pressure because you're in field goal range with a chance to win, but they had to go for a touchdown because they couldn't go for three, which
Mhm.
changes the kickers. Man, they matter. They really do. Packers lose off two missed kicks. Browns lose off of the pressure of having to go for a touchdown. Like those little things, those little moments, like you just mentioned, good teams make those happen. Great teams don't let it happen at all. So we'll see, man. I'm glad the Browns lost because fuck the Browns, but they just they're it's turmoil. The Browns are not good. If you're the Raiders, uh, you're 2-2. You keeping pace with everyone else. You beat the Ravens. Ravens beat themselves, to be honest with you, but a win's a win. So 2-2. But speaking of my Ravens, I'll have my jersey with me. It's at my girl's crib, not my sister's house. You go first, Dash. You go first. You go first.
Um, they did what we expected them to do this entire offseason and run the damn ball with the King Derrick Henry. That's all that needs to be said. Your defense finally played a complete game from start to finish. Just what I got to give Josh Allen he was trying to will his team to win at all costs. But again, at the end of the day, defense held it down for the first time. Pass defense looked fantastic the entire game. Run defense was always great. Lamar Jackson, he said it on his tweet. He was like, "Bro, I don't give a damn about your parlays or anything like that. I want to win. If I throw the ball for 500 yards and we lose, I don't give a like. I'm pissed. So I can throw the ball for 100 something yards. If we win the game, that's cool." So that's all I care. That's all I care about too. Yes, you were in my parlay, but it's neither here nor there. Win the game. Run the ball with Derrick Henry, the king, who's gonna be like the only person in like this like because I think he's like so close to 10,000 yards rushing,
He's 18 yards away from 10,000.
and no one really runs the ball. The next closest person is Zeke Elliott with 8,000 something. No, not 8,000. It's like 7,000 or something like that. It's like no one's really running the ball with that much for that many yards consistently. Like Derrick Henry's him, and the last 2 weeks he's finally starting to get going. He got really great going against Dallas, and then followed it up this week, starting to unleash him little by little. And then what's gonna happen is that we gotta stop Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson gonna start going crazy too. I'm happy for the Ravens. They're 2-2. Talk your shit.
So we should be 4-0. But coulda, shoulda, wouldas. We don't live in a world of those. Right? We was a toe from being the Chiefs, and we collapsed in the fourth quarter against the Raiders. So it's low-key 4-0. But sorry. With this said, this game, I brought out the all black Lamar jersey. Shout out to my future in-laws. You know what I'm saying? They got that for me last year. So shout out to them. Now I'm like 3-0 for Buffalo. First play from scrimmage. Part the Red Sea. Derrick Henry, 87 yards, touchdown. I'm geeked. I'm like, let's go. This is the type of game we on right now. Another stop. We score again. Lamar, dump off. Little shuffle pass. Derrick Henry, easy money. Stop again. Lamar, real route. Justice Hill. Bow. And then they scored. I think they scored a field goal. And then third quarter happens. I'm like, it's 21-3. Bill scored 21-10. I'm like, all right. All right. But Lamar had mentioned early in the week, he's like, yo, when we up, I want to punish people. Foot on neck, belt to ass. Then 3-0. I was like, oh, shit. I'm sweating, y'all. I'm sweating. Then just when you thinking, oh shit, momentum's about to happen. Kyle Van Noy, the ageless wonder, Kyle Van Noy, strip sack, and then I don't know if y'all seen that play, but Ali got tattooed. He got laid out. And once that happened, we got the ball. Kyle Hamilton again, everywhere on the field, like legit everywhere. And I love this guy. Like he's amazing. Um, Once he got that, then scored again and again, and it was pretty much over from there. This was the game that you briefly mentioned it. I feel bad for Aguilar. I feel bad for Bateman. I feel bad for Flowers. Andrews likely. I feel bad for all those guys. But when you're running the ball for 8 yards to carry, getting almost 200 yards, we really wanted him to get to 200. We really did. But when you're just that much successful running the ball, it's kind of like you got to take the L on that one. Like, but now I think as the season goes on, as you briefly mentioned it before he dipped, like, dude, like they gonna stack the box and thinking like Derrick Henry's gonna own the main problem. No, that means Rashad Bateman, who's a fabulous route runner, Zay Flowers, who's a fabulous route runner, can get open. Mark Andrews, he still has it. It just hasn't been shown yet. But trust, big trust. When I say there's gonna be a game and Mark Andrews goes off, I'm jacking. It's probably gonna be against the Browns because he always cooks the Browns. But watch. It's gonna be a game, and Mark Andrews gonna have 2 tutties. Believe it here. Belts to ass. I was so happy. I was on APB watch from my coworker Tom, big Bills fan. He ain't show up to work on Monday, but he showed up to work today, and he was like, "Yo, yeah, did y'all thing." So you know what I'm saying. So I'll be honest, I did not watch this game at all because it was like 6. It was like 6-3, And then the Lions and Seahawks game started. I was like, okay, I could just watch this shit. And I'm on Gucci. So, but I did watch the highlights. I looked at the stats. So y'all can call me a clown, whatever. Bro, Tua's stock is up right now because if Tua was playing, I think this is a totally different game because he actually can get the ball to Hill and Waddle. Like, I know they're shuffling, and then there's like people's like, oh, Hill reunion with the Chiefs. And I'm like, nah, I'm pretty sure he's done with that. Would that be nice? Sure, it will be a nice story. Oh, Tyreek Hill comes back to help the Chiefs do a three-peat. That story writes itself. But I think he's done with that phase of his life. And maybe he probably retires as a Chief because he's one of the greatest receivers to ever play the game. But I think he's done. And Titans won a game, which Loki should be losing to try to get the number one pick. So you could draft the quarterback. But yet, you want to win a game. Why? I don't care. I don't care about this game.
I didn't watch this game at all. I have no analysis on this game. I know that at one point Mason Rudolph was in the game for the Titans. I'm like, okay, now the Dolphins have to win, right? Nope, they didn't handle business at all. They suck. Dolphins, man, it's you can't bet on anybody on the Dolphins when Tua's not there. Like as Shabazz said, Tua's stock is up right now because they have done nothing. Their offense has came to a screeching halt. Yes, he was bad. The Dolphins, he was bad on the Bills game. That's fair. But before that, and outside of that Bills game, at least Tyreek was doing something. At least Jalen Waddle was doing. At least A-Chain was doing stuff. They can't do anything because their quarterback can't do shit. So it's just one of those things which is sad. It's a shame, but it is what it is. But the game everyone was actually watching, the game when everyone was watching, whew, Lions, Seahawks, prove two things to me. One, the Seahawks aren't frauds offensively. They were 3-0. Oh, who did you play? They played the Patriots. They played the Dolphins without Tua, and then they played. The Broncos with Bo Nix as a rookie. So offensively, they were still putting up points no matter who they played. Right? Yes, they played. And Kenneth Walker is him. Like, when he's here and healthy, they can actually run the ball effectively, and it doesn't put the stress on Geno Smith. Even though he threw the ball for like 56 times, he threw the ball 56 times because they were behind the entire time. He had to do it. They don't want. I know the Seahawks don't want to play a game where he's throwing the ball 50 times. Hell, 40 times. They want to do what Jared Goff did. Jared Goff threw the ball for 18 times for 240, was perfect, and caught a touchdown himself. So yeah, accounted for 3 total touchdowns in the game. That's awesome. That's like literally you cannot write that better for your quarterback from your team having your two, and this might be hyperbolic to say, but probably not. Lions have the best 1-2 punch in running back. Like just running back. Just running back.
It's hard to argue, yeah.
It's hard to argue. Obviously, like Lamar and Derrick Henry as a running team might be better, but when it comes to just strictly running backs, David Montgomery had one of the plays of his life, trucked the dude and ran, and then was able to escape and got for like 30 more yards down the field. It was awesome. Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs is him. I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love him. I love him in Alabama. I love him now. He's good, but it's one of those things where it's like, just like when you said you feel bad for Bateman and Zay Flowers and all those guys, I feel bad for like guys like Sam Laporta. I feel bad for guys like, well, I love Alvin Ra. He's gonna get his touches and stuff, but they don't score because when you're in the goal line, why risk throwing it when you have again a 2-headed monster in the backfield? Mm-hmm. So I know Alvin Ra doesn't give a damn. He wants to win a Super Bowl. That's why he threw the pass to Jared Goff. Like he doesn't care how they score as long as they score. And for Seattle, you can look back and say, okay, we beat a Lions team. Well, we lost to a Lions team on the road, Monday Football, and all that stuff. Don't let this loss start a skid. Got the Giants next week, right? And the Giants secondary is Basura. So DK Metcalf at one point though had like more yards than their entire team, like total in the first half. That can't be happening. Yes, DK Metcalf is fantastic, but you got to get JSN. Your former guy, is he still your guy? I don't know.
That's my guy.
That's your guy. So you gotta get JSN involved. You gotta get Tyler Lockett involved, and again, keep running the ball with Kenneth Walker. You'll be fine. So yeah, Seahawks will be fine. And I'll admit this. I said that they would be last in the division. They are not going to be last in the division, obviously, because they're 3-1 right now. Anything can happen. Injuries can happen, of course. But the Seahawks, they will be fine. They took a Lions team. They're just when a team's perfect, or their quarterback is perfect, bro. There's nothing you can do. There's
Especially
literally nothing you can do about it, right? It's like you
especially-
had your hands up. It's like fuck. We tried our best, man. We tried your best. You'll get them next time, potentially
I think that was their first win in the last 6 tries. So
against the Seattle.
yeah, like it's always high scoring, and Seattle always wins. So that's tough. I think this game was just electric. I'm so mad at myself because I got too greedy. I had a giant parlay, right? I combined both Monday night games. If I literally just focused on the Seahawks Lions game, I would have won.
Mm.
Legit, just would have won. And it's all right. I have no real analysis. Like, I go into this like Seattle's a good team. I still think so. And I think the Lions is a good team. I still think so. I think both teams, it was just good on good. And the likelihood of Jared Goff going perfect again, it's not happening. But this was the blueprint of like, oh, why I was bullish, why you were bullish on the Lions, making it very far in the season, in the playoffs, whatever, because this is the kind of offensive game where everyone got shot. Jameson Williams, who showed what he can do. David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs. Now all they need to do is unlock Sam Laporta, and then you got because you still got the best offensive line in the game. So it's just crazy, man. But I got no real analysis. Like, good on good, and this was like it was slow, and then it started picking up and picking up and picking up, and then when DK fumbled, I was like, "Fuck!" But then they got back into the game. Kenneth Walker's a monster. I won my matchup, legit. I was down by like 20.
You won because of Kenneth Walker?
I won because of Kenneth Walker and Jameer Gibbs. I had both of them. So it was easy. So yeah. So shout out to both teams. Both teams will be fine. It's okay. Now, that's what I said. I think we don't have it. But mentally, top 5 teams after week 4 for
Oh
me,
shit, man.
Chiefs, Vikings, gotta go Lions, gotta go Bucks, and I'll put my Ravens number 5.
So I agree. I'd say Chiefs, Vikings, Lions, Bucks. I don't know about your Ravens yet. Not to say that they're bad or good with top 5. Mm. Yeah, because I would have put Buffalo in there if they beat the Ravens, but they didn't. The Ravens beat them and handled the business. So yeah, I go. You're saying top 5. We agree. Not as not. I again not in the same order. Potentially, probably have the Ravens 4 or whatever. But yeah, those 5 teams going into the league. Yeah, going into week 5, we both agree: Chiefs, Vikings, Bucks, Lions, and Baltimore.
Yep.
That does it. That does it for week 4 recap. Next week's gonna be shorter because we have 4 teams on a bye. So Wednesday show should be fine and should be faster because we don't have to talk about 2 less games. Word. So as 2 less games, this is the bye weeks start up. So less and less games, but again, more intimate, more intimate.
But then we got the London series. You got Sunday morning football,
Bro, we got literally we have football from 9:30 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night. So on Sunday, it's gonna be awesome. But I'm gonna be at a wedding this Sunday, so I'm trying to sneak away during the reception, like watching Red Zone on my phone. But we'll see about that. Well, probably can't because my friend's getting married, and she's like, "Yo, you can't be on your phone."
Whatever. Who can be on their phone?
Whatever. Work. But before that's it. That is it for Tuesday's show recap and analysis of week 4. I'm Natty BaptisteBros. Please drop a like, subscribe if you're new, tell a friend to tell a friend. Live your life in the 4 F's and the V. We got faith, family, football, food, and wait for it.
Vindication.
We'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30. Be there. You have no choice. We talk about week 5, first weekend of October. Let's get after it. See y'all when we see y'all. Peace.